Alright, Trailblazers, just a quick video showing the screen flow I've made for my beers and brewing companies. So this is the whole layout. I know a bit hard to read at the moment, but we'll kind of zoom in. So set it up as a screen flow. So first screen, you'll find out if you'll search for a brewing company, see if one exists. So we'll do a get records on here and then hit a decision element. So either the brewing company is found or it's not found. So if it is found, then we'll get to a screen which will allow you to choose the brewing company from a list. So within here, I've got a data table element which will display all the potential brewing companies, or we've got an option if the brewing company doesn't appear in the table. We can say head back to that new brewing company. So if I just zoom out again, so that's where those two lines meet up. So if the brewing company, if nothing was found, that'll come down here, or if the brewing company is not in the list, if you've got two like names, they'll then join up down the bottom, where you can, here we can add a new brewing company, create the brewing company records, then we can create the new beer records. Alternatively, it's coming back up. So if we do select a brewing company from the list, so it is in here, then we want to do a get records to find all the beers that are within that list, that belong to that brewing company. So we're not creating duplicate records. So then we'll display that to the user, so they'll be able to see that on the table. And if it's not in that list, then they'll create a new one. And then here, then I've got another decision, just in case they do try to create a duplicate. We'll show them a screen that the beer already exists, or we'll create a new beer. And then throughout on all of the, basically the pink ones, I've created a subflow, which we'll get to later. So let's have a look at how this all works. So I've just added it to the top of my screen. So the first one we want to do, so we'll search for a brewing company which won't exist. So for example, XXX. So now we've gone straight through here, so nothing exists. So we've taken this no statement decision down to the bottom. And then so if we add in, so we'll say this is in Washington, Alabama. We don't need to fill this in, so this will automatically create based on another formula I've got. And now, so we've kept that name, so create a new beer, and call the beer XYZ. Doesn't matter what style it is or its rating. And then that should be created now. So in this recently added, we can see we've got new beer to the new brewing company. So instead this time we'll search for something which might already exist. So we'll search for DC. And then so here's a brewing company with DC in it. So we can make the decision that either we want to use DC, or we could say that we don't want. So the brewing company isn't in the table above. And then that'll take us to this same thing, create the new brewing. But if we do say, oh no, actually DC is the right one, I'll keep them both selected. Got a little validation rule here that you can't select both. So just select DC. And then so this will display all the beers which I've already added to DC Brow. So for example, if I try and create Brow Pils again, so we'll be searching off the name, so the style of beer, I know they don't match up, but that's fine. And then, so if we go next here, this should, let me know that you've already entered this beer. Maybe I've had enough beers for today, need to go back. Alternatively, so we'll just go back to this screen, give it a new name. American Brown Ale, that's all fine. Can add this in. And then that will add that one to my DC Brow. And so the last thing I wanted to show was just, we'll use DC again as the check, is an example of the subflow error which I've created. So rating is a required field So ratings are required field. So if you don't include this, it should error. So normally I would have this as required in my flow, but to show the error, I've hidden this, made it not required. So if I then create this, rather than just getting the normal red error message, which you don't like, this will then call that subflow. And then, so yeah, you've stumbled across a pub with no beer, the brewmaster's been informed. And then so what I've done in here, so on this create new beer records, we've gone down the fault path, called the error message subflow. And so from here, just a basic decision. So if there is a fault, send an error email. And so that'll send to my personal account, and then we'll get the error screen. I just bring up that email, and then so bring that one across. So this error occurred, required field missing, and then so I'll get that as well. So me as the brewmaster, I can then fix that up and then know that there's been an issue. So let me know if you got any questions or queries or want to know how I set anything up, but I'd be happy to explain. Thank you.